Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we are drinking Super Quench by Sycamore Brewing Company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking and reviewing. Back to do that once again, and hopefully we've got a good one today. As always, I have Andy in the attic, and I've got Jay. I am Ben. What are we drinking today, my friends?
Super Quench by Sycamore Brewing Company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going to move my can real fast because my can says super fresh. It is Super Quench. It is Super Quench. And when I was researching this, I was like, what? Whoa. Because when I go into Untapped just to look at it, this super fresh did not have a label to it. It looked like only like a few people reviewed it. But then when I looked at more Sycamores, there was a Super Quench with this symbol. And so I went to Sycamore's website, and the beers that they have listed that they're on tap, Super Quench, matched everything about this. So I have no idea why it says super fresh on the cans, because you have the screen grab of Super Quench.
Yeah.
And it's listed as Super Quenched on their website, as well as Untapped as the more the highly rated one.
Yeah, I went and grabbed, as I do, I just go and try to find the picture.
Yeah,
and
I know you wouldn't pay attention to that.
It was orange and it had a tree on it. So it's like, yeah, it looks like it.
So maybe it's a super fresh version of Super Quench.
Ooh, that's what you did there.
I remember seeing super fresh when I pulled it out of the fridge, because I'm thinking, how do they know it's super fresh? What if I'm drinking this like 6 years later?
It even says super fresh on the bottom right next by the can by date.
It does. Interesting. Maybe they had their label printer mix up some things, type in the wrong word. That's what I'm going with.
That's what you're going with?
What I'm going
with. Cheers, mates.
Citrus.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Who brought this one?
Andrew.
It's from my Hilton Head Hall. Hilton Head Hall. How about that? You like that? Okay, this is a wheat ale with citrus. It's 5.4%. And that's all we know about it. About the beer. That's all. Yeah, that's all they wrote. That's all I could find.
We don't even know the beer's name at this point.
Yeah. Sycamore Brewing. I had to do a little extra digging after I'll share some information. It's in Charlotte, North Carolina. Founded in November 1st, 2014. It's family owned. Husband and wife team of Sarah and Justin Brigham. This is where it gets interesting. On their site, that they say that it's the largest Charlotte-born brewery and top 3 craft brewery in North Carolina. So that largest Charlotte brewery, where we've heard that not too far in the distance, do you remember when we discussed that?
Charlotte's beer.
It was with our guest
Wesley,
and it was when we were going over Copper, old Mecklenburg Brewery in Charlotte. Now, I had to look back at their site too, and they say that it's the largest and oldest brewery in Charlotte. They were founded in 2009. So the oldest brewery at the time when they came around was called this brewery called Rock Bottom Brewery. It's actually a chain that started out of Denver. National Brew Pub Group. Well, it's not Charlotte born, and it's no longer even in Charlotte. So I have one saying one thing, one saying the other. You know, it was Old Mecklenburg. I looked up everything I could find to see if Old Mecklenburg was founded somewhere else other than Charlotte, because it's that, when we did all these old German breweries, in the past, they're like, they have these claims on it. The oldest, on this street named, Wilhelm as the family member, I mean, so I did have to look at several articles, because when you look at information, some is like dated 2015 and some is dated 2018. So the most recent data I could find, and by comparisons, was in 2021, and by the number of barrels. So and when you compare the barrels from 2021, Sycamore sells more. They have over 27,000 barrels per year in 2021, where Old Mecklenburg sold around 16,000 barrels per year. Now, I do recall Wesley saying, when he's been there, didn't he say this one was super massive, that beer garden? Was that the Old Mecklenburg one? Or was
Yes.
Yeah, because I think it was the Old Mecklenburg, not the other ones we did. So largest by square footage, maybe Old Mecklenburg can say that. Say it's the largest square foot, but I think production wise, Sycamore's got that claim to fame. So
largest by the number of seats that they have in their tap room.
So Andy, if you put that in relation to us, I mean, what does that mean? 16,000 barrels or 27,000 barrels? I mean, is that talking, a 64 keg barrel? I mean, a 64 beer keg? Or are these the big vat barrels?
Oh no, like the vat, things like that. But and how much liters wise, my knowledge runs short. You're supposed to ask me this stuff beforehand, so it don't look so stupid. Gosh.
Jay and I long ago.
Yeah.
Jay and I long ago made a pact to try to make you look as stupid as possible on the show. Yeah. And I think we're doing quite well, honestly.
I think on some of these shows, I'm doing it to myself. But other than that, I don't know how much is actually in a barrel.
You're a wealth of information.
I was mostly joking.
I bet after our scores, you will have an answer.
Thank you. You're a fact checker.
All right. What else you got?
That's all I got.
All right. Anybody have this? No. All right. Jay, jump in there.
So I guess the caveat here, I'm not really the wheat beer guy, right? I drank wheat beers for years. It's kind of a gateway beer to get into a lot of the craft type. And this reminds me just of that. It is that good old Blue Moon you would have with the orange or the lemon. That's to me, and it has that great super fresh flavor to it. It's a strong, good wheat with that citrus flavor, just like they describe it on the can. Bright orange and tangerine. So I like it. I'm always a little more critical of the wheat beers just because they're not one of my favorites. But this one I've got to go with probably a 7.5. It's something I definitely would have again, and would love to try other beer from Sycamore. So thank you, Andy.
You're welcome.
All right, Andy, since you brought it, I'm going to be nice and let you go last. And so I'll jump in there. I know. Things I do for you. I really like this one. Unlike Jay, I'm kind of the opposite of you in the sense that when I first started drinking, craft, trying to get into craft beers, the wheats for me, for some reason, were beers that I didn't like, and maybe it's because I had the Blue Moon, and I mean, a Blue Moon's okay, but I steered away from wheats for a long time, just because they just hadn't really found one I really liked. So I think maybe I'm coming into them a little bit later than you from the even though I've been drinking them for a long time, but I for this one I really like it, and I really like a good wheat beer, and I think this one is really tasty with that citrus flavor. It's easy drinking. This is a hot day beer for sure. One you could have multiples of in the right context for sure. I really like it. I'm going to give it an 8. I think it's really tasty, and I could see here just drinking it, me having a hard time having to slow down so that we have something at the end to cheers with. So thanks, Andy.
You're welcome. Well, this a very refreshing beer, definitely a quencher, because I was thinking this is a pool or beach beer, lake beer, boat beer, and it is just, if it were a little more, honestly, with that citrus flavor, if it were a lot more carbonated feeling, I would have thought it was like a Radler almost, because of that burst of fruit, that citrus. So, we're drinking this a little late in the season because it's starting, the temperatures are starting to get cooler now that, we're no longer in our 80s and 90s. So it's like, if I would have known about this, I would have kept it in the old garage beer fridge after mowing the lawn, because that would have been a good one after that. A lot of citrus notes to it. You can smell it, you can taste it, especially, but you can still detect that wheat, and definitely more of an American wheat. No, you're not going to get this confused with another country's wheat. This is an American style wheat. I'm going to give this 7.5. Easy drinking, and I think if something's going to drink down that quickly, then you must like it. So what you do?
Yeah, I think when you were talking about it being, if it were a little more carbonated, Radler, I mean, it might even at that point come to, borderline on like a seltzer, almost, not quite as tart and that flavor punch, but I think it's getting close, so not that I drink a lot of seltzers, but
Confess.
I don't.
It's okay, Ben. You can say it.
It's like, well, we accept all types here.
I like seltzers. All right, that is going to be a 7.7 for the Sycamore Super Quench, super fresh, super tasty beer. Definitely one, if you can find, you need to give a shot. Let us know what you think. If you've had it, even Wes, have you had this one? If you have, let us know what you think in the comments there. We would love to see that, or let us know in Discord. Hey, come see us on our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord. Link is down below in the description, and you can tell us what you think of Sycamore or any other beer that you drink. We'd be happy to talk about that.
See if somebody can compare sizes of breweries, Sycamore and Old Mecklenburg. I mean, we were talking about it. Ben, what were you confused? You're like,
yeah. If you have a Super Quench can, we'd love to see that too, because right now it's just a picture.
Show us your cans.
Yes. All right. If you happen to make it this far, for some reason you're still watching, be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell. We would definitely appreciate that. And also check us out on all the social medias down below in the description. If you have any reason to get some Hopped Up Beer Review merch, then like Jay's shirt down there, definitely check out the link below. We got some stuff that you can get. For Andy in the attic and Jay, I've been. Cheers.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.